So the client web portal, it is just another application. So if you log in as a client, that would be the thing you see. That would be one of the few things you see. We have this client portal where clients can do what you've mentioned, but we also have other functionality that are available to your clients, such as being able to order supplies. So if you send them collection kits and stuff, we can order supplies, and you can track that, and you can ship them supplies, and you can put tracking numbers, and so on. Um, the other thing is we have application for your doctors to come in and sign rec forms, right? So let's say a nurse places the order, 10 orders, 50 orders in a day, then the doctor can come back at the end of the day and sign them. So you have that signature on your rec, so you can actually do billing. But I'm gonna focus on the ordering and result reporting, right? So this is the client web portal. This is the very first thing that your clients will see are the new reports, right? So we have a few options here in terms of filtering and providing them data, but the new reports allows them to see what's new from the lab, reports that they haven't opened, reports they haven't seen, right? So it's an unread inbox per se, right? So here are all of my reports. I can see that these are final reports. I can see that this is a preliminary report, and I can see these are all final reports. So I can easily identify the ones that have different flags, right? So like this one has a critical flag. This was the lab flagged it as a critical result. I have this flag to let me know, and I can open this report and I can look. So I have 48 new reports. I can go in and I can click on one of them, and I can open the PDF and see the actual result, right? So this brings me the PDF. I can print if I need to. I can do whatever I want. The template here is very basic, and part of our implementation, part of the cost that is included with the cost of the system is to build the report as you need to make sure your clients get the value, and you provide your value added to your clients through the report. So I'm not going to focus too much on this report, how it looks, because most of the clients, they have their own reports they've seen. But it's easy to just get to it. You come here, you click. If you need to see them all, you can just select, and you can download them all at once, or you can, and that will bring you what it does. It actually takes all of the 48 reports, it merges them all together. So now you have a big PDF, let's say 2 pages by each report. You're going to have a 96 page PDF that you can easily print all at once, or you can do whatever you want. You can take them individually as well. The other thing you can do, you can go to the pending lab work, and it shows you everything that is with the lab, right? So here I can see everything that the lab hasn't yet approved. I can see that these ones are active, these ones are new, meaning active means it was received by the lab as being processed, and I can actually see the date received right here. And these ones that are new, they have not been received by the lab, right? So I can easily search for my patient. I can see if did they receive or not, where is the sample within the process. And you can actually see we have other statuses here. Technically, we should see other statuses if you have the result or you don't have the results as a lab yet, right? So it gives them quick access to information, and they don't need to call, hey, did you receive my sample? Obviously, the system will tell you if it was received and when it was received. We do have a different status that we can update for your clients to see. If you want them to see a different status instead of active, we have so this is the status that is the same for the lab as well. But we have a portal status that we can update with other information that is just for your clients to see if you need to update that value at any point to give them more information. We can swap them, right? So instead of having the status, we can have that portal status where it gives them more information. But it's the same for everybody, all the users of the system. The other thing that the clients can do here, they can do a batch order, meaning let's say it's a nursing home and they're going to test 200 of their patients for UTI this today. They can actually place easily within a couple of minutes 200 orders for those patients. They can do a reorder. So let's say they've ordered a set of different panels last week for different patients. They want to redo them the same way for the same patients today. They can do a reorder. So the difference between the batch ordering and the reorder is in the batch ordering, every patient gets the same thing, right? You say, okay, I want to do these panels, UTI, whatever, on these 200 patients. And that creates new orders. The reorder will take whatever patients you want and will reorder what was ordered last time for them. They get different panels, right? So there is a slight difference between the two. And then you can do a create order, create requisition, which is creating one patient at a time. So that's I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that. Before that, there are a few options here that they can do. They can cancel orders, so they can say, well, you know what, I placed these 10 orders by mistake. I'm just going to cancel them, right? And they can cancel before it gets to the lab. Once it gets to the lab, they got a call, but they can cancel before it gets to the lab. They can reprint requisition forms, they can reprint labels, all of the things here they can do fairly easy. But I'm going to focus on creating a new order, and this is for your doctors. Now the screen looks empty when you first open, and is because I am a user that I can place orders for multiple locations. So I'm like a collector that goes to different sites. But once I choose my site, then I can see the order. And the reason for that is we limit the options based on the size. So you can choose what you see, what each of your clients get in terms of options. You don't. Not every client needs to. They can get the same thing. There's not a problem, but they don't have to. So we need to know the site in order to determine what options they have. And you can see here I have, for example, the molecular ID, the toxicology, the chemistry, obviously what you see at the top and what you see here, it is specific to your lab. So I have a few options here: molecular. You can see some of them are collapsed by default. So bacteria, all of these are collapsed. I can actually see what's under bacterial if I expand. I can choose to have them expanded if I want, right? So this is just the way we set it up. If I go to chemistry, you can see everything is expanded. So I can see all of the options, right? If I go to toxicology, toxicology it looks different. It doesn't look as good because we still need to work on it, but it gives us ability to do it. Not only that, you can have here instructions. So wherever you see this magenta in these two options, you can actually have instructions for your clients or your collectors, right? You can put information. Please remember to do this. Don't forget to do that, and whatever. You can have those instructions. Not only that, but let's say you're a collector or you're a nurse at a doctor's office, and let's say for women you always order the same things, right? Let's say you order the wellness panel, you do the hormones, and you do a cardio. It's your kind of default to go to options. So every female you gotta come here, you gotta come select this one, you gotta select this one, you gotta select this one, right? So it's a little cumbersome, especially if you do them the same thing. What you can do, you can select them once and create what is called the personalized menu option, right? So at that point, it's already defined. I have my female standard. I probably should replace this female standard. It's my female standard panel, right? So if I do this, boom, it selects them automatically. So it gives me the option as a user, as a doctor, to have my own preferences, or my own subset. Now for your patient, you can choose search from an existing patient. You can see when I select the patient, I have this magenta showing up. We use that color just because it pops out with everything else. And you can see the known ICDs for this patient, what you've used in the past. So you can reuse them, or you can search from existing lists. You can choose medication. Medication is not as relevant for anything except if you do PGX or toxicology. That's when medication is important, because it affects how you report. It affects your report on toxicology. But nothing else. It's not as important besides toxicology and PGX. Now you've done that. Based on the selection, I've selected all of those 3 panels. I need to have these 3 samples. So the system tells me the samples that I need. I can put a collection date for them. So I need the whole blood, I need the serum, I need the whole blood in a different tube. So I can put that information. I can put that information in there. I can put point of care results. I can put documents, comments, everything that you need to do. Add you don't need to, but the options are there, and then you can just place the order. When you try to place the order, it'll give you a summary, right? It'll give me a summary of my options, my patient information, my samples here, and the option to sign this order. So you can sign the order if you're the doctor, if you're logged in as a doctor, or you're flagged in the system as a delegate for the doctor, right? So that you can have an agreement with the doctor saying, hey, this user is my delegate, he or she can sign on my behalf. If that's the user doing this order, they can place they can sign here and put the signature on the rec form. This way, you have it signed for your reimbursements, for your documentation. It's there. Otherwise, the doctor can come in later. Like I said, at the end of the day, they go in 10 orders for 10 of the patients, select them all and sign. So fairly easy to sign 50 orders, 100 orders in less than a minute. But it's good because they sign and you have that. Depending on the doctor, your agreement, whatever, if you don't apply it automatically, that means somebody needs to apply it manually, and that's what I'm showing here. But we can definitely put it automatically. That's what for specific doctors or specific clients or specific insurances. That's how you place an order. Um, so let's say the order was placed. Now you print labels, you put it on tubes, on the sample, you print the rec form, it shows up in the lab. We have now the lab side of it, the accessioning. I'm an admin, so I have access to everything. A lot of applications here, not just this quick demo. So the patients where they can see all of the patients that I have. I can search for a patient and I can go and look at the patient information. I can see all of the orders that have been placed for that. I apply ordering where they can order supplies. On kits, I need you to send me kits. I need you to send me whatever you guys are providing to your. That's another option. And then we have the signing option to sign orders, right? Where they'll see the pending queue for signing. So that's also available. But this is on the accession. This is on the lab side now. This is your accessioners in the lab. So they can do what the providers can in terms of placing an order. If you get the orders electronically, either through the portal, like I showed you, or let's say an EMR integration, they all end up in the same spot in this accessioning, and they'll be in the pending queue. I only have one. I only placed one order for me, but everything that was placed electronically will show up in here. You can find, so let's say you have a batch of 10 samples on your desk, you gotta check them in, right? You gotta receive them, flag that you've received. You can go in and just easily scan, receive samples. You scan sample by sample by sample. You scan the 10 samples. What it will do once you've ended up scanning them, it will bring those 10 in this list, like I have this one. So now when I have my list that I've scanned, I can do multiple things here. I can individually look at each one of them and look at the details, right? I can look at the all of the information about the patient. I can look at what panels were ordered. I can look at the samples, the collection date. I can look at point of care medication, insurance information. Everything is available here, including the benefits. So if we turn on the integration with our benefits provider, you can actually see what the patient coverage is, right? So what is their insurance covering, the full coverage right here in Accessioner. So you can choose, hey, they're not covering for UTI, you're not gonna do it, right? So you have that flexibility here instead of doing the test and finding later that, hey, the insurance is not covering, right? But that's really part of your process and how you handle that. We have the tools here to support it either way. But let's say everything looks good. You don't need to change anything. You just you double check the name, you double check the date of birth, you double check some information. You just say, "I'm done. It's good." Now it changes from the new. Remember the status when you hit this complete, or you do all 10 of them in one shot. You do this complete. Now it updates the status from new to active, and it's in the lab. It updates the date received if you didn't put one with the date of receipt of whenever you press this button, so you know it was received at this date. Now it's in the lab, right? You can reprint labels if you want to relabel some lamps. They relabel with a different number. You can relabel. You can do various things here. We have a lot of options here. Change the collection date in batch or whatever. Pre-labels for all of them. Everything in here you can see it's a batch. So whatever you select, apply to here. The same options should be available here for the individual records. So the next step would be in the results. I'm gonna quickly cover that. So I'm gonna show you a little bit what happens at the end when you've received the results from the PCR. So you get the result file at the end with 96 samples, 384. How many you run in terms of your plates? You upload that, and we process those results, right? So you can easily upload them from our upload button here. At that point, we take the results and we do the interpretation of the result: detected, not detected, inconclusive, indeterminate, whatever the formula tells us based on the AM score, the CT values, and all of the parameters that we can put in place, right? And we make that determination. We also we create a result batch. Let me actually switch to my molecular here. We're a multi-location, so we can support multiple labs within the same system, multiple locations. But let's say we have a batch. This is my Quant Studio. You can select that batch, and now you'll see all of the samples within that batch. This could be a batch that you've created with the plate, all of that, but it's the same batch at the end when you get the result. So now I only have 11 samples on my batch, and I can review the results. And I can review the results in multiple ways for my Quant Studio result file here. I can look at individual sample. I can just expand this one, and I can see all of the results for my sample. I can see indeterminate, not detected, whatever the results were calculated for each of my targets, right? So I have all of these results. I can see. I can modify them if I need to. I can do a preview of my report. I can have that patient by patient. And again, this is just a dummy template. It will be your template. We can do it two ways. We can integrate with a third-party system that does that, and we have company that we can recommend you to. We work with Arcstone, but we work with others as well. So it really depends on your preference. It's a cost, it's a quality of the report, the service, and all of that. So we're not experts on that, but we're experts in integrating with them and getting the report back.